This is the fourth item I'm endorsing. First one was obviously my books, because I wrote those along with some other people. And then I did a video on Arxis boots, promotional video on those. And then I did another one on the Grunt Enhancer. And this one here this is a very unique product. Everybody owns a folding handsaw. You can buy them anywhere, any hardware store, any sporting goods store. You can buy handsaws any place. Well, back in the 80s, late 70s, 80s, there was a company, I'm not going to name their name, and they made a saw similar to this. Okay, now this one's made by Tethrd, but that company made a saw very similar to this. It wasn't the quality this was, it wasn't even close to the quality, but it was very functional. And what this saw does is it has these big round metal things that stick up above the back of the handle. And these fold in, and they have holes in them with teeth. So you can actually cut a branch, slide it through these two holes, lock it in place with the teeth on these circles, on these metal circles, and use it as an extension saw. So you can cut a 10-foot pole and use it as an extension saw, or a 3-foot pole. Doesn't make any difference. Whatever length you want it, that's what you cut it, and then you use it for this. Now, I gave one of those saws. I had 3 of those saws from the 70s, and I gave one to Ernie Power. And Ernie Power is a co-owner of Tethrd, and Ernie Power, in his regular job before he became owner of Tethrd, he was an engineer. He loves to re-engineer products, or have somebody come up with a saddle or whatever the case may be for saddle hunting, and then re-engineer it to make it better. And he's extremely good at it. So he re-engineered this, and this is the baddest saw out there. And I say this is the baddest. And when I say baddest, I mean it's the best. There isn't even a folding saw that comes close to this. It's called the Sabre saw, and it has so many functions on it that it has to come with instructions. So there's an actual instruction sheet. So you have these circles here, and these fold down, so you can use it as a regular handsaw. And when used as a regular handsaw, it's got a little button, you open the saw blade up, and it has a 3-position spot you can put it in. So it has 3 different positions you can put the blade in. Now typically you're going to want the blade in the most forward position, the most downward angle, if you're using it as an extension saw. So it has a really strong button here, as far as this isn't going to break easily. It's very well engineered. The blade is very pliable. It'll bend a lot without breaking. You can actually bend that over 90 degrees, but I'll cut my fingers if I do. Another awesome thing about this saw is it has Sierra teeth, and the teeth are wider than the top of the blade. So when you're cutting, the groove you're slicing through is wider than the top, so the saw does not bind. That's a big deal. And I go through saws like crazy. It also has, I think it's an 8.5 or a 9-inch saw blade. Most hand saws are 6.5, 7 inches, so it has a lot longer cutting stroke. And it also has an ergonomically very comfortable, it's almost like a rubber handle, so it fits in the hand very well. And I actually cut a branch that I'm going to hook this to, and cut some branches with it to show you. So you can use it as a handsaw just like this. Typically you're going to use it with those down, cut like that, you know, close to you, or you can use it as an extension saw. And it also, this little clip on the top, there's a little buckle that you can put on your belt that will accept this clip. So if you're out prepping trees or whatever the case may be, when the saw is folded up, it'll just clip right to your belt. Or if you're climbing a tree, if you're prepping a tree while you're going up and hanging sticks and stuff, and you need to cut a branch that's in your way, you can just pop this off and cut the branch. You don't have to reach in a pocket, or you know, it's very easily accessible. So that's another very unique feature. So the way this works, and I cut this branch. Obviously, this one here actually had a buck rub on it. I just cut it out of this little patch of trees behind me. And this is a piece of popple. And so the way this works is you pull these out, slide that in there, bring this over top, slide these down, pull this down so it bites into that branch up at the top, and then push the one at the bottom down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera a little bit and cut a branch off this oak. So this is a hardwood, and this branch is probably 10 feet off the ground. Now, as you can see, I cut that big oak branch in about 10 swipes, and that oak branch is probably 2.5 inches, if not 3 inches in diameter. And that's an oak. That's a hardwood. I cut that very easily. Now, this here is this is autumn olive. It's a little softer wood, but this is how you'd use it on a, you know, as a handsaw. Unfortunately, that last branch I cut, which was probably a 2-inch diameter, came down into the camera, so knocked it over, but I'm sure you saw it cut. And on small stuff like this, you know, this cuts this really fast. One swipe with that. I don't know if you can see this one, but one swipe. This saw is super bad. It's only available at Tethrd. Tethrd is the one that's manufacturing this. It's a little pricey. It's $70, but you get what you pay for. And I'm not getting paid to do this promo either. I'm on their pro staff, but they're not paying me to do this promo. This is just hands down the best, by a long ways, folding handsaw on the market. And you can use it as an extension saw for as long as an extension saw as you want to make. That's up to you. You can use a short extension saw up in the tree, or from the ground you can cut a long extension branch. Again, it's called the Sabre saw. I highly recommend that this be the saw. If you're carrying a handsaw in your backpack, this be the one you carry, because you can do so much with it. Thank you for your time.